Even though the queen had agreed to go, she was still unsure. She didn't want to disobey her husband, the king. She thought about it thoroughly, torn between loyalty and curiosity. Should she go or stay? After a moment of silence, the queen nodded. Very well, we will go. A few days later, under the pretense of a friendly visit, Queen Yaa and Nana Bema set out for the next village. By nightfall, they arrived at Mam Aibea's humble hut at the village's edge. The elderly woman welcomed them warmly, as though she had been expecting them. Her wrinkled face was kind, her eyes deep and knowing. "I have waited for you, my queen," she said, as if she had foreseen their arrival. Queen Yaa gasped. "You knew I was coming?" Mami Ayebia smiled. "The river spirit whispered to me in my dreams." The queen shivered. "The river spirit?" "Yes, she is not only the guardian of the waters, but also of destiny. She has seen your sorrow and has sent you here for healing." Hope flickered in the queen's heart. "Then help me, Mami Ayebea." For the next few days, Queen Yaa underwent the special massages and treatments Mami Ayebea prescribed. She drank herbal teas, bathed in healing waters, and followed dietary guidelines. Slowly, she began to feel different, lighter, more balanced, as if something deep within her had been unlocked. One morning a week later, Mame took the queen's hands in hers. "You are ready. The river spirit has blessed you. Go home and in time you will carry life within you." Queen Yaa and Nana Bema returned to the palace, keeping their secret. A month later, when Queen Yaa missed her monthly cycle, she feared to hope. But as the weeks passed and her belly swelled, there was no denying the truth. She was with child. Months later, the queen gave birth to a daughter, Abena. The kingdom rejoiced. A great cry of joy erupted across the land. The people danced, drummed, and sang, for their beloved queen had finally been blessed with a child. King Kofi rushed to his wife's side, his heart overflowing with happiness. He looked upon his daughter wrapped in fine silk, her tiny fingers curled around his. "She is beautiful," he whispered in awe. Queen Yaa smiled weakly, exhausted from the birthing process. "She's our miracle," Nana Bema beamed with pride. "Let us call her Abena," the king announced. The entire village rejoiced at the news of Abena's birth. Drums resounded in celebration. Gifts poured into the palace. The young girl grew quickly, and in the years that followed, the queen gave birth to 3 more children. The royal household was filled with joy. But trouble loomed on the horizon. A ruthless ruler, King Tsoli, sought to conquer the land of Nsia. Determined to take control, he waged war against them. The warriors of Nsia, led by their king, prepared for battle. However, King Tsoli had a sinister plan. He lured King Kofi and his warriors to the battlefield, while secretly sending men to the palace to seize Abena, the most cherished child of the royal family. Under the cover of night, 3 men stealthily infiltrated the palace and took the girl while everyone slept. Since most of the royal guards had accompanied the king to war, only a few remained behind. But fate was not on King Tsoli's side. That very morning, he was defeated, and the warriors of Nsia returned victorious, only to be met with devastation. Princess Abena was gone. Though they had won the battle, the kingdom was consumed by sorrow. The people of Nsia feared the worst, that the princess had been lost forever. King Kofi sent messengers across the land, searching for any trace of his daughter. Every whisper, every rumor was pursued, and no effort was spared. He even interrogated prisoners from King Tsoli's camp, but none could reveal her whereabouts. Some claimed the ones responsible were secret operatives, allies of the fallen ruler. The hearts of the king and queen shattered, but they had no choice but to grieve and cling to hope. For years, the kingdom mourned. Though King Kofi and Queen Yaa continued to rule wisely, sorrow never left their eyes. The people whispered prayers, wishing for the lost princess's return. But Abena was not gone forever. The 3 men who had taken her were loyal warriors of the late King Tsoli. They had been ordered to harm the child, but one among them, Kojo Mensa, could not bring himself to do it. As they reached the outskirts of a distant town, he convinced his comrades to leave the girl in the forbidden forest instead. They departed, unaware that a house stood nearby, home to a kind-hearted widow named Mame Ifua. Mame Ifua was a seamstress renowned for her exquisite embroidery. When she found the abandoned child, her heart ached with compassion. Though she had no children of her own, she took the girl in and named her Aqua. Years passed, and Aqua grew into a graceful and intelligent young woman. Under Mame Ifua's guidance, she mastered the art of sewing, creating garments fit for royalty, never knowing that she herself was of royal blood. Back in Ansia, a young merchant named Ali Jr. had grown into a strong and ambitious man. The son of the legendary palm wine tapper, he had inherited his father's hard-working nature and kind heart. He traveled between villages, trading goods and rare artifacts. One day, while visiting a distant town, he passed by a small dress-making shop. Through the window, he saw a young woman working on a delicate embroidery pattern. She was stunning, her deep brown skin glowing in the afternoon sun, her fingers moving with remarkable precision. But what truly caught his attention was the birthmark on her wrist. Ali Jr. had grown up hearing his mother, Nana Bema, describe the princess's unique birthmark, a river-like pattern just above the wrist. His pulse quickened. Could it be? Curious, he stepped inside. "Good afternoon," he greeted, steadying his voice. Aqua looked up and offered a polite smile. "Good afternoon, sir. How may I help you?" Ali Jr. hesitated. "You have an incredible talent," he said, nodding toward her embroidery. "Thank you," she replied modestly. "May I ask, do you know where you were born?" he inquired cautiously. She frowned slightly. "I do not. Mame Ifua found me as a child and raised me as her own." Ali Jr. felt a chill run down his spine. He knew deep within that this was the missing princess. I have a friend whose mother described a birthmark just like yours," he said carefully. "She was a princess taken from her family many years ago." Aqua's eyes widened. "A princess. Do you have any memories from when you were little?" he asked gently. Aqua shook her head. "Only glimpses, a warm voice singing to me, strong hands lifting me into the air, and a feeling that I belonged somewhere else." Ali Jr. took a deep breath. "Please, come with me to Nsia. Let my mother see you. If you are who I believe you are, then your true family has been searching for you all these years." Aqua hesitated. She wanted to trust him, but doubt lingered. Yet, something about his presence felt genuine. His eyes held sincerity. Mame Ifua, though saddened at the thought of parting, encouraged her. "If this is your destiny, my child, you must follow it," she said softly. With a heavy heart, Aqua bid farewell to the woman who had raised her and set off for Nsia. When they arrived at the palace, Nana Bema, who now resided there, gasped the moment she saw Aqua's birthmark. "My queen, come quickly!" she cried. Queen Yaa and King Kofi rushed into the courtyard. The moment the queen saw Aqua, her breath caught. "My daughter!" she sobbed, rushing forward, tears streaming down her face. King Kofi's voice trembled. "Abena!" Aqua stood frozen, overwhelmed, but when Queen Yaa gently took her hands, a deep warmth filled her. She knew this touch. She knew this love. "Mama," she whispered, her voice breaking. With that single word, the years of pain melted away. Queen Yaa embraced her daughter tightly, weeping tears of joy. King Kofi wrapped his arms around them both, his heart finally whole again. The other children, now preteens, gathered around their long-lost sister. Nsia erupted in celebration. The drums echoed once more and the people danced through the night. In the weeks that followed, the royal family summoned Mame Ifua and honored her for raising Abena with love, granting her a place of high esteem in the palace. Ali Jr., the one who had brought the princess home, was also celebrated. But more than that, he and Abena found a deep connection, one that blossomed into love. Years later, when King Kofi and Queen Yaa grew old, Abena and Ali Jr. ruled together as queen and king, guiding Nsia with wisdom and kindness. And so, the prophecy of the river goddess was fulfilled, not only for Ali Jr., but for his son, who rose from humble beginnings to sit upon the throne. Nsia flourished, forever grateful for the compassion of a seamstress, the loyalty of a merchant, and the grace of destiny. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to help me hit 2,000. I'd love to know where you're watching from, so drop a comment and be the first to share.